What's cooking, guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to share today's recipe with you guys because it is so perfect for the upcoming holiday season. So in today's video, I am sharing my pumpkin flan cake recipe. It has a vanilla cake base that I'm adding some pumpkin spice to, and the top part is a light and creamy pumpkin flan. Those two mixtures just go really well together, and I'm going to show you how to make it in just a second, so stay tuned for the recipe. Do consider subscribing if you're new here and you'd like to join the foodie family, and don't forget to hit the bell icon also so you are notified every time I upload a new video, which is once a week. And now let's get baking. Let's start by preheating the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And while my oven preheats, I'm going to grease a bundt pan. You want to place the bundt pan on a baking sheet, and I'll show you why in just a few. And I'm just going to spray some oil in the bundt pan to grease it. Then I'm taking a paper towel to spread it around, and also so that it can absorb some excess oil. Once your bundt pan is greased, you can set it aside for now. And in the meantime, I'm going to make the caramel in a small saucepan. I haven't turned on the stove yet, and I'm adding 1 cup of regular sugar to my saucepan. And then you want to turn on the stove to a medium-low heat. With a spatula or a wooden spoon, you want to continuously mix the sugar up. It will take a few seconds before this starts to melt, but still continue to mix it even if it hasn't started to melt as yet. Once it does start to melt, it's only going to take like a minute or so to fully dissolve down to make a caramel sauce. And once it is a nice golden color, turn off the stove immediately. You don't want this to get any darker than this color that I have shown here. And then let's pour the caramel in the greased pan, evenly coating the bottom of the pan with it. So far, very simple, and our first step is done. You can let this sit on the side for now, and let's make the flan mixture. In a large bowl here with a whisk, I'm going to add all these ingredients you see in the back. And I'm going to start with 4 eggs. I already broke them separately one by one like I usually do. And I'm just going to lightly beat them up to break the yolk down a little bit. Then I'm adding 1 can of condensed milk in there. No sugar goes in this mixture, so we're just going to rely on the sweetness from the condensed milk. Then I'm going to add 1 15-ounce can of pumpkin puree. You can make your own fresh homemade one, but make your life easy in the kitchen and just get the pre-made one. Then I have 1 can of evaporated milk, and I'm pouring in all of it. Then I have vanilla extract, and I'm going to be adding 2 teaspoons of it in there. And I also have 1 tablespoon of pumpkin spice powder, and you can make your own pumpkin spice by combining cinnamon powder, allspice powder, cloves, ginger powder, and also nutmeg. Now you want to combine all the ingredients up till they are well incorporated. So again, a very simple flan recipe, but with the fall pumpkin and pumpkin spice flavors. Now you want to take the prepared pumpkin flan mixture and pour it all into the bundt pan with the caramel sugar. And before we put this in the oven, I'm going to be pouring water into the baking sheet pan, just enough till it reaches about a 1/4 inch up the sheet pan. And this step is necessary, and it will help the flan to not crack on the top once it's done baking. And now you want to put the flan in the preheated oven for about 40 to 45 minutes, depending on your oven. And while my pumpkin flan is baking, I'm going to make the cake portion of this dessert. And for that, I'm just going to be using a store-bought yellow cake mix just to make my life easy, and I'll just be zhuzhing it up to make it more appropriate for fall. And I'm just going to be following the instructions on the box. So they ask for 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. And then the boxed instructions ask for 1 cup of water, but I'm putting in 1 cup of milk instead, just to make the cake a little more rich and moist. 3 eggs that I already broke separately one by one. And I also have 1 tablespoon of pumpkin spice powder just to customize this cake and make it my own, and also to keep those fall pumpkin themes going. And then combine all of that up as well with a whisk till most of the lumps have dissolved in there. And you can make your own pumpkin spice cake as well, guys, but because this flan cake has several different steps, I like to use some help from the store. And I'm going to set this aside for now till my flan is done. Now take out the flan after 40 to 45 minutes from the oven. Even if it doesn't look fully done, it's okay. This is looking wonderful so far, but we are not quite done yet. And then right on top of that flan, I'm going to pour in the pumpkin cake batter that I just made. Look at that luscious cake batter, guys, with a little bit of help from the store, but customizing it by adding your own little touch. Nobody's gonna know that you won't be spending hours making this beautiful dessert. Then you want to put some aluminum foil on top so that the cake doesn't overflow from the pan, but still gets to cook on the inside. And now let's put this back in the oven for 43 minutes like it says on the boxed cake instructions. And after 43 minutes, let's check on this pumpkin flan cake. And I'm just going to insert a toothpick in there, and you can see it comes out clean. And now that means that it's done. I'm going to take it out of the oven and let it cool in the pan completely for at least an hour and no less than that. And after an hour, I'm going to take the flan cake out of the pan, hoping it comes out beautifully. This part is always the most nerve-wracking for me. And oh my god, guys, look how beautiful that flan cake is. I am so excited to cut into this cake, but I do have to let it cool completely for about 8 hours minimum, or overnight is best so that the flan and the cake can really come together. After cooling this cake overnight, I'm just gonna cut into it. And look at that, guys. If there's any perfect fall or autumn dessert you need to try, I think this one might be it. This pumpkin flan cake is so seasonal. It has all the fall flavors like pumpkin, pumpkin spice, cinnamony flavors, and this is a must in my opinion to make for the upcoming holiday season, for Halloween, or even for Thanksgiving. It's going to be so perfect. You will be impressing a whole lot of people with this dessert. It's very, very festive and yet so easy to make with 3 simple steps. The longest time is the cooling part, but the end result is just phenomenal, as you can see. I can't wait for you guys to try this recipe out. And that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed my pumpkin flan cake recipe. You saw how easy it was. The flan is just a few ingredients that you probably already have in your pantry or your fridge. And for the cake base, I used a box cake just to keep my life easy in the kitchen, especially during the holiday season. And I added my own little ingredients to customize it and personalize it and just make it my own. That way nobody knows that I got some help from the store. And the results are just absolutely perfect. So I hope you do try this recipe out, especially during Thanksgiving. This is just the perfect dessert for Thanksgiving. And if you do make this at home, make sure to tag me on all my socials. I love seeing you guys recreating my recipes at home, and they turn out so beautiful. And I really appreciate that you guys love my recipes too. So I'll be seeing you in my next video, guys. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe before leaving. Until then, take care of yourselves.